Hello everyone, and welcome to Axis and Allies with Captain Keys. Now obviously this is going to be a little bit different than our standard World of Warships fare. We're branching out just a little bit to a 2004 game by Atari. Axis and Allies, the video game, is a digital remastering, retelling of the classic board game. And I think it was fantastically done. It was fairly well received, but I don't know, just a bit of a nostalgia kick came in, and I wanted to give it a try. So, if you like World War II history games, you will like Axis and Allies. If you're more interested in fighting and tactics than economy management, you will like Axis and Allies. And if you're interested in a bit of a what-if on the Axis side of things, more on that to come later, you will like Axis and Allies. So, I figured let's take a spell through the single-player campaign. And yeah, we'll do an episode every now and then. Not sure exactly the format these are going to take. Might be a lot of quiet, a lot of me just working on winning the level, but I hope to keep my commentary flowing throughout. So, going to do some campaign, Allied campaign, and we'll start with the cinematics. So here we go. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the cutscenes are just scaled 640 by 480. But anyway, so Moscow counteroffensive, and oddly enough, you don't actually get to do anything with that. I think there might have been like an Operation Barbarossa or something mission that got scrapped because you don't actually get to do anything with the Russians for a bit. So starting off with the British, and this is the Battle of El Alamein. The Desert Fox, Erwin Rommel, has rolled through North Africa, leading his Africa Corps, forcing the British Army in Egypt to their last defensive line before Cairo and the vital Suez Canal. Through a valiant defense, the British have stopped Rommel's advance, buying time for a counterattack that may change the momentum of the North African theater. But the Desert Fox, ever cagey, has prepared a devastating minefield in advance of the British forces, taunting them and their attempt to avert the unstoppable flood of German forces. And to hear a little more about that, we're going to have our pal Reginald tell you more about the battle.
Good afternoon, chaps. This is no time for chit-chat, so listen carefully. Our first efforts at dislodging Rommel and his Africa Corps have failed. He's mined the whole desert. Nevertheless, the order to push him away from El Alamein comes from the very top, so we're to see that it's done, no matter the cost. Good luck.
And here we go. So this is Axis and Allies, and this is our first mission, El Alamein. Every mission will have some objectives for you, which are usually presented pretty quickly. There they are. First thing you want to do is destroy Rommel's Core HQ. That is our objective. We can capture and hold the Italian oil refineries and clear the bunkers on the beach for some more help. So, the way the missions are set up, a few of them have a hard time limit, but a lot of them don't, but you would be wise to move along pretty quickly. I'm not going to overload you with information on the front end. You can kind of watch and see how the game plays, but I will make some comments about why I'm doing particular things. Every building in Axis and Allies comes out as a truck, and the truck can then drive to where it needs to go and unpack. It takes it about 10 seconds. And yeah, that's how you build stuff. There are no dedicated builder units unless you count engineers and bunkers and that kind of thing. All of your units come in the form of regiments. For example, build a motor pool. You don't build just a light tank. You build a light tank regiment or a medium tank regiment, that kind of thing. And the way that it works is, get back here. If any one of the troops in a regiment survives a battle, they can come back, and as long as they're inside this green border, this is the supply border, they can reheal. So watch this. See, that guy was hurt, and that guy was hurt, but now regiment's at full strength. And that didn't cost me anything. There's a little bug there. As long as the HQ that they're attached to has supplies, they will resupply like that. So like this guy, you see the lion symbol? He is attached to the 1st Mechanized Division. That's them right there. And as long as they're attached, and this building has that blue bar, that has any of that blue bar for supplies, they're okay. Now how do you get supplies? Well, your core HQ generates a zone of supply. It comes out to this green border, and any buildings built within that get supplied. Cities also create zones of supply, and a city can be captured by moving your units into it. If you don't have supplies, the building can still function for a little bit, but it will eventually not be able to build anything or resupply any attached regiments. So here's some medium tanks. And there's a little bit of historical accuracy going on here in that the British didn't have Churchill heavy tanks around El Alamein, so the game only gives you access to the M3 Grant with the 75mm gun. It's got 400 health, it's slow. It's not a particularly good tank, if I'm honest. You have other stuff like the mech infantry regiments. So obviously this is, you know, soldier, 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 basic infantry with a rifle and grenades, machine gunner with a Vickers MG, a light tank in the form of an M5 Stuart, and then 2 half-tracks, and your commander, who's in a Humber Mark 1, which would be this guy right here.
Come to attention, lads.
Like a lot of RTSs, you research stuff, and so you've got improved logistics, increases your detection range. You've got improved machine guns, which I always go for pretty quickly because it's a pretty big deal. Military surplus. See, the math here, it adds 5 money per second, but like 150, you have to play for a half hour before that would even, you know, break even. So I typically don't go for that one. So machine guns. We'll get some diesel engines. Want to make our stuff move faster. And now we will go and fight some Italians, I guess.
Come to attention, lads.
Core HQ. You also have leader powers over here, and this, I guess you could say, experience increases by 1 per second. Or if you get into combat and your units gain XP, which can happen by them fighting and not getting completely wiped out, then you will accrue experience as well. Ooh, they've got artillery. So it's an artillery bunker and a couple of mortar guys. So what I'm going to try and do is engage just the artillery bunker without getting the mortar guys involved. But my mech infantry guys don't have the range for that, so they're going to move into range and engage the enemy infantry. So here's combat. All units have this blue bar called morale, and when that bar depletes, they will rout. And when they rout, you can't control them. They just run away from combat, and you cannot issue them any commands. So it's best to pull them out before that happens. I'm going to pull these guys back because they've lost almost everything and get them back to the supply border and let the medium tanks do some of the fighting. Notice that these guys don't have a badge under their icon, so they're not attached to any HQ. Oh, and my tank's about to run out of morale, so I can pull them back. But I know that these guys aren't attached to any regiment or any HQ, so any damage I do to them, they're not going to reheal it. So, yeah. I'm going to try for that. If you want to increase your supply range, you just build any building that uses supply. The cheapest one is the supply depot. And again, everything comes as a truck. So build that there. Your money increases based on how many buildings and cities you have. Cities normally add 10. Your core HQ adds 25. Infantry and mech HQs add 30. And armor adds 20 for some reason. I think there's one nation, maybe the Americans, where their infantry or their mech adds 30. They get a special thing there. Every nation gets access to the same basic stuff. You know, you got your mech infantry, you've got standard infantry, recon infantry, engineers, light and medium tanks, those kinds of things. But based on historical accuracy, every nation gets access to unique stuff. Like the British get SAS commandos, the Japanese get bonsai infantry. Let's see, what do the Americans get? They get flamethrowers and assault infantry with rifled grenades and stuff like that. The Germans get King Tiger tanks and a couple of special infantry units. So it varies. Everyone's got the same basic stuff, but they all have their unique units. And some nations just have a flavor. Like the Japanese, for instance, their tanks are awful. They're just really, really bad. The heaviest things they can build are mediums, and they're not very good mediums. So, you know, stick with infantry with Japan. The Americans have very good mechanized stuff, and a lot of their leader powers buff their mechanized. The Germans are all about the armor. The British are kind of a mixed bag. I mean, they've got a couple of special heavies, but they're kind of all over. And the Russians are, I think, all about the infantry. They get conscripts, and yeah, Russian infantry are pretty good. Or cheap, you know. There's some other technologies in this game that are kind of a trap, like, see this one? Minus 15% to the recruit cost of mechanized infantry regiments. Well, the thing is, if you play it like I do, these guys routed. Oh, I should have been paying more attention. If you play it like I do, I just tend not to lose regiments in these early matches, so like I don't actually need to decrease my cost, because see, if you take 15% off the recruit cost and you go to buy like one of these guys, 15% off of 125 is like 17 or so, so you'd have to build 5 of these just to break even, and I don't plan on losing 5 of them, so yeah. I do like my tanks though. Occasionally, it depends on the level, but sometimes the AI will just spam one particular type of unit and you'll need a particular counter to break them. So like in this case, well, it doesn't give me them, but if I had anti-tank infantry, that's what I would do. You can do sort of a turtle and tech. Let's go foraging. You can kind of do a turtle and tech approach where you just kind of hide out and tech things up and then move forward slowly, and you know, but the game has a few levels where you just can't. So it's best not to get into that habit. Can I get any more tanks? Alright, let's talk economy for just a minute. So you see I've got plus 3 on ammo, plus 35 on oil. Well, what happens is, if you, or every regiment requires some resources to support. Medium tanks, in this case for the British, 20 ammo and 15 fuel. As long as you have that amount of production, you're fine. And every building you have plus 10 there, plus 20 there, plus 10 there. Cities sometimes give you some depending on what buildings they have in them. You'll get plus that amount, and that counters what your regiments use. However, you see now I'm at negative 17 on my ammo, and look at the money, minus 34. So what it means is I'm having to use my income to subsidize that ammo cost, and that's not good. Oil is a 1-to-3 ratio. You really do not want to be low on oil. So how do you fix that? Well, you can build ammo depots. And when you, or other buildings like these regimental HQs, but ammo depots and oil depots are the fastest and most efficient way to do it. Ooh, I captured the oil we're finding. Holy crap, look at my oil. What's this? 50 oil for capturing that. Yeah, so I'm not going to have to worry about oil in this mission. There's my ammo truck, and notice you don't get the full bonus. He's producing 12 as a truck. You don't get the full bonus till it unpacks. Supply depots give you 5 of each. It's really not worth spamming them. Alright, so ammo depot's up, and now that is back in the positives, and I'm not losing any more money to it. So yeah, shortages in other resources result in a reduction in monetary income. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build an infantry regiment, send my tanks over. Your regiments all have 3 formations they can take. You can take assault, which slows them down a little bit. You can take aggressive, which gives them normal speed but reduces their attack efficiency, which is this red bar. Or you can take column, which gives them a speed boost but dramatically reduces their attack efficiency. And attack efficiency is, as far as I've been able to tell, a multiplier applied to your gun strength. So 65 is what it says, but if I'm at, say, if I've been moving in column for a while like this, it's really half of that. So it's 32 and change, 32 and a half. So if these guys were to get attacked after moving somewhere in column formation, they would be in real trouble. So you can switch back to assault or just tell them to stop. And that efficiency, once they come to a halt, will eventually begin to replenish. So I made these guys to hold this refinery in case the Germans try and counterattack it. These guys could use a healing, but instead of pulling them all the way back, I'm just going to send my supply truck up here and build some more supply trucks. You have a building limit, so I'm at 6 out of 20. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Supply trucks do not count against your building limit, which is really nice. So let me put this guy up here on the railroad.
I wish I'd thought of that.
I know you do. If you complete the secondary objectives, sometimes you get something good, sometimes it's literally ticking a box and it's not worth anything, so you kind of have to weigh that out. Any other good researches to get? Yeah, we'll go logistics, why not? It's cheap. And more mech infantry. I like half-track regiments if you need to get somewhere quickly, because as far as I'm aware, they're the fastest regiments in the game. I'll build one just so you can see. They have very little, well, anything. They don't really have good attack power. They don't really have good armor. There's not really anything good about them, but they're fast. So, you know, there's that. Mech infantry, send you guys up here. I normally use column formation to get people, you know, to where they need to be, and then I tell them to rest afterwards. So notice I'm at -2 on my ammo. I see that, but I'm about to unpack another supply depot that'll fix it. I just need to clear that artillery bunker, and it's only costing me 4 per minute, so it's not really that big of a deal. Over time, your regiments will do something called entrenching, and that's if you just leave them sitting completely still for like 30 seconds for infantry or something like that. So if you watch, we'll come back to these guys in a minute. You can see what entrenching does. Up here you have all the things that are affecting the unit currently. Mostly it's researches, what formation they're in, and so we see the effects of some of the stuff we've been researching, what it does to them. And now these guys are entrenched. You see the sandbags? What entrenching does is it gives them a 40% resistance to bullets, a 40% resistance to explosives, 50% slower morale loss, and a +4 to defense value. It is a huge benefit to have your stuff entrenched. Like this guy has had a 1 for defense value. Now he has a 9, which is a big, big deal. And he got that from the entrenching bonus. So, yeah, big deal for that. Alright. I think my AC just kicked on. I hope that's not a problem. So we'll send these guys into fight. I'm going to switch them back into assault formation. They go slower, but they won't lose any attack efficiency, so that's good. Let's clear these bunkers. Artillery bunkers fire an explosive shell at a very slow rate, but they do a lot of morale damage. You can see after just 1 hit, we've already lost that much morale. There we lose some more, so yeah. They do a lot of morale damage. Now that we've cleared that, we can move this guy up. And these artillery bunkers only have a 5 defense and 1,000 hit points. They're not very good at taking hits. So, yeah. Oh, someone just got a promotion. First medium tank. These guys. So, after you get a promotion, you can see you got a +10 to your attack value, +1 to defense, +5% to health, to morale. Getting a promotion is a big deal. If you get experienced regiments, that's a good thing. So the name of this game is not losing regiments. If you don't ever lose a regiment, you don't ever have to pay to replace it. They gain experience, and it's all around a great thing. Keep your regiments alive. Even if you lose everything in the regiment except for one unit and it's on 1 health, if you manage to get it back inside your border and he's not being shot at, then he will fully reheal at no cost. So it doesn't matter which unit it is, even if it's not the commander. It's just very important that you get your units back to the supply zone so they can reheal. Take that one out, and we're about to take this one out. Artillery bunkers really rough up infantry. You can see this guy after just 1 hit, and he's about to take another one, I bet. And yeah, I mean, he's almost... Artillery bunkers are serious, that's what I'm saying, if you don't have a huge, massive force like this. Alright, so we took that out, and in this case, this is one of the bonus objectives that actually gives you something useful. The Australian reserves are coming, so we have the Aussies coming to help. Yep, a computer-controlled ally has landed to help you. You can give ally commands at any time by left-clicking the Team Commands button on the bottom right of your screen. I don't really use this, but you can tell them to attack, defend, build something, explore. You can give stuff to them. You can give them a building. You know, pretty standard stuff. You can report or get a report on their economy, which is, I guess, helpful. Yeah. Anyway, and it's telling you they'll do their best. So, yeah. These guys are really good meat shields for running into Rommel's minefield. So the first regiment they send off just kind of dies. Yeah, there's an exploratory marker here because the game auto-placed it there. These guys got there, now they're in the middle of 2 artillery bunkers and 2 machine gun bunkers, and yeah, I don't know why that was the thing, but anyway. The game also has some Easter eggs you can find. If you look around, I tend not to, just because I'm focused on completing the objective, but you can. My armored HQ is full. Oh right, half tracks. If you set these guys in column formation, they can move. Now they do take terrain penalties, so you got to watch over here. Speed limit is medium in a city. Once they get out of the city, I think they get back onto desert, which limits their speed. No, there they go, zipping forward. Look at how fast they are. Yeah, half-track regiments are great if you need rapid reinforcement somewhere. So now we're going to beat away on this bunker for a bit. And I think minefields, you can get rid of them with... I think you can get rid of them with engineers. But they don't do that much damage, so I just have my guys run over them and then quick run back and heal. It's not that big of a deal. You guys, get up to the front. See, we're taking some hits now, so... another unique thing about Axis and Allies, if your units are engaged, you cannot tell them to fall back. They won't listen to you. You have to issue a retreat command. You can do that by clicking on the flag while they're in fighting. There's a white flag that shows up, or holding Alt and right-clicking. So I'm going to set these all guys to aggressive, or to assault formation, let them heal up, which again is happening at no cost, and foraging makes this a faster process. Still not researching that. Still not researching that. Let's build an engineer brigade. Why not? I've got the money. In this case, killing those artillery bunkers took almost nothing and was very worthwhile because it got me a computer ally, which I appreciate. So, that was worth it. They'll continue to run forward and do damage to the bunkers and take out some of the minefields, so it's helpful. Let's take this bunker down. Yeah, these guys are eating some mines. They're a lot worse for infantry. If vehicles hit them, it's not that big of a deal. And that bunker is history. Alright, now let's go over here and kill this crap. And I've got a really powerful force. This is the first mission. It's not supposed to be hard. I'm playing on normal difficulty because playing on hard just requires you to try hard, and like I don't like tryharding if I don't have to on a casual game. So yeah, pull these guys back. I'm not the best microer. I really just, I'm not. So I don't really get, you know, microing 50,000 regiments all at once. It just doesn't appeal to me. I like a few number of very powerful regiments. So, you know, take from that what you will. Let's see what Rommel's got going on. Let's use the Codebreaker ability, and we're going to use it because I happen to know he likes to build stuff here. Yep. Oh look, ammo depots. Let's use another one, Carpet Bomb. Goodbye, Rommel's economy. Watch this. Kaboom. Now, I can't actually see his economy, but I know it is messed up now. He must be at like minus whatever ridiculous amount for ammo. I could have bombed his core HQ and it would have done extra damage versus buildings, but I've got this wrapped up. I just need to drive in and kill a bunker, then kill his core HQ. That's Montgomery's super weapon, by the way. Not every leader that you pick gets that. Some of them get explosive super weapons, some of them don't. Montgomery gets one of the more powerful ones with Carpet Bomb. The most powerful one is held by Admiral Nimitz of the Americans, but you can probably guess what that would be. It's a nuke, guys. Nimitz gets a freaking nuke. I guarantee you, if we move closer, this guy's cranking out ammo depots like no tomorrow. Ah, some of Rommel's forces. Some Panzer IIIs. Well, let's have it out, Rommel. See, these half-tracks just die so quickly. And put these guys back. And take down those medium tanks. Take down this mech infantry regiment. He's actually not cranking out a ton of ammo depots, which surprises me. If you give them that big of an economic problem, they'll normally work to fix it pretty quickly. The AI isn't that dumb. So let's take out this bunker.
The enemy must be annihilated. Don't look left
Get some
or right,
Rommel quotes
only
while we're
forward.
here.
In the absence of orders, go find something and kill it.
That's my favorite one.
Don't fight a battle if you don't gain anything by winning.
And peace out, Rommel. That's the end of that mission. Congratulations, British forces have routed Rommel at El Alamein and he is retreating back across the desert. This victory will set in motion an Allied advance which will eventually lead to driving all Axis forces from North Africa. Hooray! So we did it, guys. So yeah, that's a brief primer on Axis and Allies, the 2004 strategy game by Atari. I'm planning on probably doing one of these a week or so. As you can see, I've almost finished the Allied campaign, and I'm a little ways into the Axis campaign. We'll move on to Guadalcanal next, which is the first American mission, and then you can see the rest of them. No spoilers, but if you know your history, this is kind of the order in which they occurred, so yeah. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed joining me for this round of Axis and Allies, mixing it up a little bit for something different. This has been Captain Keys. Good luck and fair seas.